Welcome everybody to another JGC webinar. Today's session is all about using AI to boost your marketing efforts. I'm hearing some paper rustling in the background. There we go. All right, all good now. So welcome. I'm Joanne Gore. I am the President and Chief Strategist over at Joanne Gore Communications. And I have, there we go. Oh, sorry. So full disclosure, I have LinkedIn running on one monitor while I'm talking to you on another, and there's a slight lag, and I forgot to mute myself, so I heard myself talking back to myself. So apologies, happens to the best of us. Head to the chat if you've ever had a strange snafu while online presenting to a whole bunch. Nearly 200 people signed up today. I am so excited. We've got a lot to cover. Those of you who were at Graphics Canada just about a month ago, seems like so much longer, may have heard me present this over there. I was limited to 30 minutes, so today I have a bit of breathing time and I can expand a little bit more on the topic of AI. As I go through some of the housekeeping and just a little bit more about me for those who don't know me, please head to the chat and let me know in 2 words, how would you describe your current use of AI for marketing? Head to the chat. A little bit about me while you're trying to sum up in 2 words, how you would describe your, oh, thank you. I'm seeing the comments are out. Often happens, do not sweat it. Whew, good. Thank you, Sean. Okay, so I am a B2B marketer. I am a print industry advocate. I am on a mission to help the print industry sell more print, while simultaneously helping your business do more business. I am a business owner. I'm a mom of 5, not including the fur baby. I've been a LinkedIn early adopter since 2004. I've seen a lot of changes come and go. I am a self-professed geekette, and I am an author of Thriving in Chaos, Lessons Learned as a Corporate Marketer. All right, so learning fast. I'm seeing all kinds of messages. Learning, indispensable. Alicia, love to see you, love to read you writing that. I know you had some misgivings at first. I'm glad to see you embracing AI for all of its power. All right, please let us know where you're tuning in from today. I am from just north of Toronto in beautiful Innisfil, Ontario, which is just right off of Lake Simcoe. I actually took a walk up to the borders of Lake Simcoe last night. It was absolutely beautiful. Please get ready to participate. Trust me when I say nobody likes to hear me drone on and on. Please use the chat as your opportunity to converse with each other, ask questions. We have the JGC team on standby to answer questions. I will try and do double duty and peek over there from time to time and see what's going on. Apologize if I do miss your comment. Yes, there will be a replay of the recording available on LinkedIn. You just have to use the same link that you used to register and join us today. If you don't get to attend the whole thing, we're sorry to see you go, but I totally get it. It's early in the morning if you're on the West Coast. It's lunchtime if you're on the East Coast like me. Wherever you happen to be, again, thank you. We do plan to wrap up in about 45 minutes. Of course, if we hang out a little bit longer, if there's some great conversations going, happy to hang out until the top of the hour. All right, let's dive into this first and foremost. I hope that there are those of you in the audience that get the reference that I'm about to infer with this image. If you know who's in this picture, please tell me, put it in the chat. I want to know who actually knows who this is. So why AI matters. AI, as you know, is transformative. There's no question about it. It is reshaping every facet of business and life today. Now, marketers who know how to use AI have a huge, huge advantage. Even if you're just dabbling in it, you know the old expression, the best time to start was yesterday. The next best time to start is right now. At the end of the day, AI is going to help you do your job faster, better, and more creatively. Bionic Man, Philip, You're so close. Yes, it was the Bionic Man. Technically, he was referred to as the $6 million man, and his girlfriend was the Bionic Woman, played by Lindsay Wagner, and the character was Jamie Summers. Yes, I know way too much about this, and I have not seen an episode in a very long time, although it does keep popping up on the Roku from time to time. Mark, you got it, the $6 million man. Now it's probably $6 billion, but the tagline was, we have built him better, stronger, and faster. So the analogy over there. Okay, so AI is not a magic wand. Let's get over that. I can go back to the days of when word processing first came out. Yes, I remember those days. And graphic designers were all worried because people were creating newsletters using 27 different fonts, and Canva has come out. There's all kinds of tools that have come out to help professional marketers, designers, writers, creators hone in on their craft. And so when you learn how to embrace its power, it can behave like any role you need it, particularly a junior marketer who will work 24/7, never run out of ideas or how to implement those ideas, turn them into actionable plans, and no caffeine required. So I'm not saying that this is going to replace interns or recent grads. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying that working alongside tools and mentors together, that's how you will fine tune and hone the power of AI to reach your goals. So let's talk a little bit. Let's engage in some stats. Those of you who've been attending these sessions, we've been running them for well over a year now, probably going on 2 years. I really like to start with some stats. So 56% of marketers, so that's more than half marketers that were surveyed by SurveyMonkey, say that their company is taking an active role in implementing and using AI. I, for one, got intrigued by it when ChatGPT first sort of hit the mainstream. Right as the subscription model was releasing, I was like the first one. I've been playing with it. Again, I don't profess to be an expert. I am somebody who uses it to help me. And today's session is really to show you some of the tricks that I've learned along the way to get what I need out of the AI, whether it's chat or Perplexity, and we'll talk about some of those other tools. So again, this is not a deep dive doctorate tour in AI. This is basic grassroots approach to get it to do what you want it to do. All right, 70% of marketers expect AI. 70% expect AI to play a larger role in their work. I that doesn't surprise me at all. In fact, I would expect that number to go up very quickly. 48% say that increasing AI adoption is a top goal. So that kind of makes sense if, just more than half are already using it. So just under half say that they want to use it. And what that really means is just about 100% of all marketers are embracing AI. 75% of small and medium-sized businesses, SMBs, are at least experimenting with AI, and that's out of Salesforce. So head to the chat. Let me know. Yes, have you been experimenting with AI, or no, or anything in between? Let's know. All right. And 78% of growing SMBs are planning to increase their AI investment in the coming year. So again, we're not making this up. AI is here. You can't go into any feed, at least I can't, and not see something about AI. The last conferences I've been at, the conferences I'm going to, everybody's talking about AI in its role of automation, data, efficiency, supply chain, and of course, ultimately, the environment. So this is one small wheel in a very large cog that's playing a larger and larger and more significant role every day. All right, let's dig in. I'm going to take a brief pause, a sip of my tea, and take a look a little bit at what's going on in the chat. So hang on. Ooh, Mark, I like your comment. It's a way to learn and become more adept. I've really started asking AI lots of interesting questions around should I do this or should I do that? I've been playing with it. So hopefully there'll be time at the end and I can share some of those experiences. But let's start with the core tips. So there are 5 tips. I think there's 5 that we're going to cover today. The very first one is learning how to prompt like a pro. A side tip, if you have kids or nieces, nephews, grandchildren's, friends, neighbors, colleagues, and they're in university or high school and trying to figure out what they should be studying, mark my words, prompt engineers are going to be extremely high value assets in businesses in the coming years. So learn it, embrace it, become that prompt engineer wizard. So what do I mean when I say prompt like a pro? So there's a couple things about, and I'm going to basically for the most part talk about ChatGPT in the paid version, which every day is changing. You know, I know somebody who had to change an entire presentation hours before she gave it. This was at D-Scoop 2 weeks ago now. And it was all because they had changed how they can access LinkedIn content. She literally redid her whole presentation. So let's go back to prompting. So presuming you've already fed it the information it needs to know about you and your business, your website URL, any messaging content that you have, your LinkedIn pages, your brand guidelines, anything that it needs to know about your company or you personally. But let's look at it from a company perspective right now. Presume it has all that. And if it doesn't, or you're not sure, the best way to do it is ask, what do you know about? And put in the company name, the person's name, the subject, the topic, whatever it is that you're ultimately going to want it to help you work with. Figure out what it knows first, because you'd be surprised. I was working on something today and I thought it was a no-brainer. And I said, what do you know about this? And it spewed out completely inaccurate information. I don't know where it got it from. So I had to refeed it the facts, and then it apologized and we moved forward. So when you say, write a LinkedIn post about our new service, it's going to try and figure out what that new service is. So it has all your information, unless you've already fed it the information about your new service. If you haven't, then of course you know what you need to do. But now let's be more specific. Write a short or long or 100-word LinkedIn post promoting interactive print, your new service. Use a professional but enthusiastic tone. So tell it how you want it to write. End with a question to drive engagement. That's saying, well, ultimately, I want this conversation to continue. So here's how you're going to help me. Tell it not to hallucinate. It's really important to add that in. Otherwise, it will make things up. You can say, don't deviate from the messaging. Stick to our core words. Don't change the calls to action. Again, when you can be specific like that, it will feed you more of what you want to get. And then my favorite, I always end with, do you understand? Because if it doesn't understand what I need it to do, there's no point in it continuing. All right. Any questions? If you've got questions, let me know. Put them in the chat. I see some chats going on. Slides GPT. Yeah, so we're going to talk about some of that too. Lauren, you're in there. Thanks. Mark, Karen. We use Gamma a lot. I have not used Slides GPT, but I have used GPT to create the slides. So I've worked with GPT, Perplexity, and Canva and Gamma. And I've had them all talking to each other to create presentations. It's a little nutty, but yeah, that's fun. All right. Tip 2, train your tools. So I've already kind of talked to you a little bit about that when I say you can upload all of your information, all of your content. But now with projects, it could really learn your voice. So what do I mean by that? You need to feed your AI. You need to train it. You need to give it boundaries. You need to teach it how you write when you're using it for marketing, whether it's personal or whether it's business. Having a messaging playbook, having a brand playbook, messaging matrix, whatever you have that tells your story of who do you help, how do you help, and why does it matter? Feed that information. Are you very corporate in the way you speak, or are you friendly? Do you tell jokes? Do you use emojis? I use the word, anybody who follows me knows I use the word awesome, all in caps, a lot. And it's learned to do that. And sometimes it doesn't put it all in caps, but at least it gets the word awesome right. So, I'll take what I get until it really hones in. Tell it to avoid industry jargon if you want it to avoid it. Or in the previous example, tell it to end with a call to action, whether that's a question or a specific call to action. If you're not sure, then you can take what it wrote you and say to it, great, now I want to add a call to action. Here's what I want to have happen next. Give me some suggestions. So again, you don't necessarily have to do the work. You just need to know what you want the outcome to be. You're like its coach, right? Coach doesn't tell you what to do. They help you come to your own decision based on what you know, what is reality, what is your subconscious, what is your brain telling you, and you make your own decisions with information at hand. Well, the AI is no different. All right, let's go on. Let's see. Let's pose another question. What's the number one task that you would love to hand off to AI? And by the way, I want to thank Carol from our team. She has come up with all of these awesome questions. She always does. She really likes to help us lean in to help you. So thank you, Carol. All right. So some examples are, do you want it to help you write emails or social posts? I have an entire project in chat that's just Joanne's emails. So I've trained it. So now if I know what I want to say, I can say, here's how I want to read this email thread. Here's how I want to reply. Yes, no, yes, maybe, add some points, blah, blah, blah. And it will spit out an email in my voice saying what I want to say in less time than it would have taken me to agonize over the right word, because I don't want to offend anybody and I don't want anybody to misconstrue what I've written or said. And I want to write the right emoji in the right place. I want the right M dash. Yes, I've been using M dashes long before that was a tell. Well, that's another side story that we are going to get into, I promise. But yeah, so do you want it to help you write emails or social posts, generate campaign ideas, analyze results and reporting? Oh my God. Imagine you get your digital agency shares your Google Analytics with you, or you gain access, you have access to your Google Analytics, but you just don't understand what it means. And you have to present to management, or you want to do better, or you want to find out why there was a spike on a particular day. You can feed that data into AI and have it analyze it for you. I fed in my Shield. I don't know if you guys are on Shield. It's a tool that analyzes all of your personal posts and makes suggestions and recommendations for best time of day and engagement and et cetera, et cetera. So I fed it all of my data so that it can inform me on what type of content resonates best, where do I get the most engagement, what days do people tend to be more engaging, what times of day. So all of that stuff that used to take days or hours or days to produce, or you had to ask somebody for that information, you can now just go and get it right by yourself. With, again, feed the data in, make sure you know what you want to get out of it, and then go from there. Okay, I feel like I'm rambling on and on, so I will give you another second to head to the chat. And again, what's the number one task that you would love to hand off to AI? Okay, tip number 3, we are on the hump day Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. Tip number 3, always, appointments, yes, always be generating. Let AI handle the things that drain your time. I gave you some examples just before. I don't know who up here uses Fathom. Hands up if you use Fathom. Hit a yes. Some folks use Read AI. I've seen a couple others out there. I like Fathom. It not only gives me the call summary, it provides me with the call notes. It provides me with the action items. And sometimes it gets some things wrong. Again, you cannot take everything that you get as gospel, and you have to challenge statistics and facts. But it's a starting point as opposed to a blank page. Let AI help you repurpose content. Let's say you've invested in a white paper or an ebook, and now you want to turn that and create social media content to promote it, or you want to send out an e-blast, or you want to turn it into a webinar, or you want to turn a webinar into an ebook. Feed it the content. Ask it, what types of content should I turn this into based on who I help, how I help them, and why it matters to them? What content will matter most to them? How can I produce this? Let it give you the framework. Do it in bite-sized chunks. Don't just say, turn this into a webinar, right? Remember, be specific. Get down to create the outline. Make sure you like the outline that it's going to do. Make sure you like the sections. Reorder it. Then you can eventually feed it. Then have it create the slides. Then have it create the images for the slides, and on and on and on. All right. Write and reply to emails. Create outlines and summaries. Draft first pass copy. Again, head to the chat. If it's not here, if you've started using AI for any of these items, and yeah, put some of your favorites in there. Lois loves Read AI. Lois, I know you were asking me about Fathom. I don't know, something about Fathom I like better than Read AI. Let's see how that goes. Okay, tip number 4, spark ideation. Again, I gave you a little clue into what this means. Let's look at that a little bit more. AI is really great at helping you brainstorm or helping you make decisions, or at least break down the decision-making process and look at the questions you need to answer in order to make a decision. I'll give you an example. There was a post I was writing for LinkedIn. I took a video and I decided I wanted to post something about it. What I couldn't decide is whether I should take it and turn it into a post that's more focused on mental health, which is hugely topical as well as close to my heart, or do I make it a post about business, align it to a business lesson learned? And again, I could have gone either way. And it was like, well, do I let myself make that decision? Let's use data. That's when I fed Shield. That's when I fed what I want to do. And I asked chat, which should I go with? And it did a great job of saying, well, here's what we know about your audience. Here are the posts they tend to resonate with. Here's why X if you were going to do X, here's what it would look like. If you were going to do Y, here's what it would look like. And so I made a decision, an informed decision. Now, was it the right one? I don't know. We'll find out. Time will tell. But again, it really helps with those decision tree criteria. You can use it to test, like I said, test one thing against the other. You can use it to score leads. You can use it to refine content. You can use it to determine your ICPs, your ideal customer profiles. That's an acronym for really where are you going to make the most amount of money from the most amount of people in the least amount of time. I call it pinpointing your quickest time to money. Who is your ideal audience? Who buys from you? Who recommends you? Who's your best source of repeat revenue? All of that you need to know. And you've got tons and tons of data that can give you that information. But like a lot of, especially small business people, you don't even know where to start, let alone deal with the analysis. So let's use the tool at hand to help us analyze the data we have so that we can then make those really important business decisions that are going to grow revenue, that are going to grow our business, that are going to get us acquired or sold if that's what we're in the game for. What do I need to get this happening? I want to exit in 5 years. What do I need to do to be ready for that? How much money do I need in the bank? How much data does my business, what tools and software and information does my business need to have so that it will have a higher value? All of these things, again, the answers it gives you will be relevant to the questions you ask. All right. I think we're on to our 5th tip, and we are doing great for time. So now we're going to talk about integrate. And what does that mean? Again, I teased it out a little bit in my last point, but here we go. When you can embed AI into your existing workflows, that's when it truly thrives. So if it's part of, and again, some of the AI is already embedded without even realizing it. MailChimp, SurveyMonkey, Canva. Canva just announced a huge, I think, deal with LinkedIn. And I want to say ChatGPT, if I'm not mistaken. I think I read about that this morning or yesterday. Anyway, needless to say, the more you can have it embedded, the more it can find the relevant data and, again, provide you with the information that you need. It can, if you're in manufacturing, it will help you optimize inventory way beyond what was already being done in your print MIS or ERP systems. It sort of takes it to a whole new level. It can help you with estimating. It can help you, again, from a marketing perspective, it can help you determine when to run certain campaigns based on ebbs and flows in your business. I'll use the print industry, if you know the presses are quiet in the summer, when should you run a campaign to feed your equipment? And should it be 2 months before, 1 month before? Well, what type of audience do you have? Is it a storefront where people come in for print on demand? Are you a commercial printer that requires 2 to 3 weeks notice before, to get the job work routed through? Are you an event planner and you need to start planning 6 to 12 months in advance? So that means you need to be marketing ahead of that in order to fill your pipeline. So understanding how your pipeline flows, when the ebbs and flows are, and where you need to fill the gaps, then you can ask AI to help you figure that out. Then you can ask it how to help you fill those gaps and go from there onwards and onwards and onwards. So I'm hoping I'm sparking some ideas. Again, head to the chat if what I'm saying resonates with your day-to-day job, or if there's something I'm not covering, head to the chat, ask me a question. We've gone through the 5 tips, so we are close to the end. All right, here's some common mistakes that I'm seeing or have seen, or let's be real, these are the mistakes that I've made when playing around with AI. And again, I haven't played with all the tools, and I will be the first one to say when it comes to design with AI, I am woefully at the bottom of the ladder. That kangaroo you saw in the promo images, it took a lot for me to get that kangaroo to only have 4 actual paws. I can tell you there were images where it had like 6. It had like 4 coming out of its belly. It had a full-size adult head coming out of its pouch. There were some really strange images. So I'm learning, but I'm sticking to my lane right now, which is words and content and analyzing data and strategy and really being more efficient in how I can help our customers pinpoint their quickest time to money. So, common mistakes. Again, AI is not a replacement. Don't pretend it will do everything for you. It will embarrass you sooner than you realize by making some silly mistake, getting a name wrong, getting an assumption wrong, assigning an action item to the wrong person. You have to review everything that it spits out and take it with a grain of salt. You can continue to train it. As it evolves, it will learn. But again, garbage in, garbage out, pay attention. Remember when I said it can replace, a junior marketer? Would you leave a junior marketer to run all by themselves, not check their work, not give them feedback, not validate? That's what you're doing if you put all your faith in the AI. Just so if you could make that analogy of like, if this was a consultant or a contractor that I was paying, would I just let them go? Or would I check what they're doing, at least at the beginning when I'm trying them out, to make sure, do they have it right? Do they get it? Do they understand our voice? Do they know what we're selling? Do they know the difference between corrugated and folding carton? Jenny, if you're on the line, I hope that put a smile on your face. Again, copy and pasting without editing is a huge mistake. Skipping the brief. So if you're going to give a project to a creative or a writer, if you say design me a website, great. That's just so broad. That's like somebody saying, how much does it cost to print a brochure? Well, I don't know. How many pages is it? How many colors is it? What size is it? How many do you want? Is it being folded? Is it being, how's it being bound together? You need to have the answers to those questions. So if you can remember back to the top, you can ask your AI what questions you need answered to create a brief. And that's, again, why I love that do you understand question. Sometimes I'll even add, what information can I provide you to complete this task? And it will tell you. So don't be afraid to ask. And you don't need to be polite. Please, thank you. It's just get to the point. Use clear, concise words. Don't experiment. Of course you have to experiment. Experimenting is how you learn, how it learns, how you learn to prompt better, how you learn to pay attention better, how it learns your voice, how it learns what you like. If you're asking it to create something, here's another tip, something I do. Well, I do it 99% of the time. Let's say it could be an email, it could be a social media post, whatever it is that I've asked it to produce for me. Of course, I'm going to go in, I'm going to fine tune it, I'm going to tweak it, I'm going to put my spin on it. And then I will feed it back in and say, here's the final version. Study this for next time. So not only does it remember what it gave you, it will also now know what you changed. And that's how it learns, and that's how you learn. So please, don't experiment is a huge mistake. So I teased out a bonus. Please head to the chat. I know it's been going on in here. I don't even think I have to ask anymore. I'm seeing Otter, Tactique. all kinds of stuff up there. I don't even know if I have them on this slide, but let's see. I promise to include a whole bunch of different AI that, and again, this is not exhaustive. Yes, it can be exhausting, keeping up with all of these tools. Again, something I pride the team on is we all have our favorites and we all use different tools. Carol uses Tactique. I like using Fathom. And this is great because it means we can better advise our clients and customers and folks like you on the different tools out there, their strengths, pros, cons, etc. So again, even if you're curious, hit us up, ask us questions. What do we use? What would you recommend? Better yet, you can even ask AI what you would use. Here's one other tip that I have not gone through. Perplexity. A lot of people talk about chat. I don't see a lot of talk about Perplexity. There's also Claude. There's others out there. Sometimes if ChatGPT is not giving me what I want, and I've tried reprompting and changing the prompt, I will head to Perplexity and I will say, here's what I'm trying to get from ChatGPT. Here's the prompts that I'm using. It's not doing what I want. Write the prompt that will get ChatGPT to provide me what I want. And so Perplexity writes the prompt, I feed it into chat, and there you go. Then take it a step further, and I learned this from the awesome Emma Farquharson. I met her at D-Scoop. Her tip was, once you've got the prompt, then you can ask ChatGPT to turn it into another prompt that then a master prompt that you can then use moving forward. So for example, if I want to analyze data, and I know I'm going to be analyzing that same data every month, I don't want to write the same prompt all the time. Once I have the prompt that works for me, all I need is the template for it. And then I just fill in the blanks each time I update it. It's still my prompt. I've seen prompts out there. People have shared their prompts. Sometimes I look at them and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm looking at. This looks like, somebody's writing for Python or something. Like I don't understand it. But that could just be my brain. So if I've come up with the prompt that I like, then that's what I'm going to do. And I'm telling you again, it saves a ton of time. I don't have to go back into older chats, older prompts, and then cut and paste the prompt and update it and find what I did and all of which again, I did that, but I don't do that anymore. I just ask it to turn the prompt into a templated version that I could use. All right, so ChatGPT, Perplexity, that's great for content and strategy. Jasper, Copy AI is great for writing. Grammarly, has anybody played with Grammarly? For tone and grammar, of course. Canva Magic Write, design and copy. I've played with it. Again, I personally have not been super successful with it. I do know that it's changed a lot just in the last couple of weeks. So I will continue to play. Fathom, Read AI, well, we've already had that conversation. HubSpot, Zoho, MailChimp. Again, they all have built-in AI features. Gamma, we talked about for presentations. Authored Up is great to really create those beautiful LinkedIn posts that flow well. It's great for analytics. I talked to you about Shield. That's not even on here. Insta Headshots. And I left the best for last. This is an AI headshot where you upload like 5 selfies, $50, $60, whatever, close to $40, $50, $60, and it'll generate 100 or 200 headshots for you that you can use on LinkedIn. You can use on your website. You can use however and wherever you need headshots. 80% of them I'd say are great, 20% not so much. But at the end of the day, that's 80 headshots. Now, I'm not saying it's going to replace professional photography, but if you need a professional headshot for LinkedIn, and if you are serious about LinkedIn, you must have a professional headshot. It's a great stake in the ground placeholder. And honestly, I love it. So there is a QR code on your screen. Please feel free to scan it. It'll take you to the Insta headshots, which is what I use for my headshot on LinkedIn. So if you look at my profile, yes, that was a headshot created by AI. So those are just some of the tools. And like I said, there's a bunch of conversations going on in the chat. I cannot wait to read it and all of the cool tools that are being discussed between y'all. Okay, so I promised to be done by 12:45. We are just about at that point. Again, I will hang out if you guys want to chat a bit more. But let's recap. Okay. Prompt like a pro. Train your tools. Let AI handle the heavy lifting. Use it for insights and inspiration. And start small. Build confidence. It will look like that ugly duckling at the beginning until it does turn into a beautiful swan. So I talked a little bit about AI's role at JGC. And I thought, again, full disclosure, I wanted to share with you how we use AI. Again, semi-automated, always human. We use AI to eliminate the repetitive, to free up our team to focus on impactful work that you care about. We automate tedious tasks so we can spend time on high-value content, strategic decisions, and moving the needle. And of course, on you. We also help customers and folks like you just get comfortable with AI, sharing best practices, and like what we did today. We use ourselves as guinea pigs. I've got the team working on all kinds of weird and wacky projects that hit me at 2 or 3 in the morning. And the ones that succeed are the ones that ultimately we share with you and with our clients. We blend the latest marketing tech with experience, best practices, and curiosity to create marketing programs that help you go from cold calling to warm conversation. Because again, at JGC, we do understand that AI is just another tool. It is human insight that drives success. So I do want to talk and close us out with the AI comment that went viral. So I stumbled into a post by Scott Moody. It says 1 week on the screen. It was actually about two plus weeks ago. I'd say it's about 2.5 weeks ago. And he just made a comment about the M-dash. And we're always talking about AI tells. One of those is starting with the negative. It's not this, it's that. Now the latest tell is an M-dash. And everyone's saying, if you see the M-dash, it's AI that created it. And I'm like, I call BS, because I have been using the M-dash as a replacement for the semicolon for years. And now I feel like I can't use it because everybody's going to think it's AI. And while I use AI to help me create content, again, it is not the be all and end all. So I jumped in to the thread and I said, I've been using M-dashes to break up statement for years. Does this make me a trailblazer or an AI wannabe? And I left the comment, and that was that, like I do on so many posts. Now, funnily enough, that comment went completely viral. It got over, so I just checked before we jumped on today. So this would be like week 3. So as of an hour and a half ago, it was at 11,000, I think 480 something. So it went up a little bit. But in the 2 weeks that post was active, just my comment received over 11,000 impressions. It had 103 people engage with it and 20 actual comments made. That just totally blew my mind away. And that showed me how pervasive the conversation is around AI and how careful we truly need to be when we are creating, generating, and using AI content. Because again, if it's something you've always done and now AI is doing it, does that mean you have to stop? Or you have to, or does that mean you have to pay attention to when AI uses it versus when you would have used it anyway? So there you go. All right. Let's see what I have next. Your turn. We are at the 45-minute mark. I did promise I would hang out. If you have questions, please, please, please head to the chat. Thank you, Sam, for managing the chat. You've been in there doing an awesome job. So, shout out to Sam, and thank you, Sam. I do, before everybody goes, the obligatory little sales pitch. Please scan the QR code for more information about how Joanne Gore Communications helps your business do more business. We stretch marketing dollars to attract a new generation of business and pinpoint that quickest time for money for you with programs that generate awareness, engagement, and growth. And mark your calendars. June 18th is our quarterly Zoom meetup where we go fully live. You get to show your faces. You get to actually speak, not just type. Join the conversation. Have your say. We're going to talk about something that is hugely, immensely valuable to all businesses, whether you are a solopreneur or a huge enterprise, how to become an indispensable partner. Please save the date, June 18th at noon, as always, on LinkedIn Live. I want to thank everybody. Like I said, I will hang up. I want to hang out. I do want to be respectful of everybody's time, and thank you again for turning out today on this beautiful end of May. I hope the sun is shining where you are, and I hope that you have at least taken away one thing that you will try. And if you are still there and have the energy, please let me know in the chat what that one thing is that you might try next time you use AI, or perhaps the first time you use AI. I will hang out for another minute or so. Let's see who chimes in. If the conversation's going, we will keep it going. Looking. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Alicia, Mark, Karen. I'm just seeing names here. I have a chance. Paul. Wow, you guys have been awesome, awesome, awesome. Lucy showed up. I don't know if she's still here. Michael, so many friendly faces. So exciting to see everybody. Again, it's always a pleasure. Next month is your turn, and lots more to come as we get through the summer and into the final quarter of everybody's business. Have a great day, everybody.